I don't care who you are, what you look like, where you come from. If you're alive, you have a heartbeat, a functioning brain, and 2 feet, you have some dream. You have ambitions or goals of some kind. There's something that you wish to see yourself achieve before you die. This video is probably going to be a very important one for that reason. Why? Because it's for anyone and everyone. So have you ever wondered why it's so hard for all of us to pursue or chase after our dreams? There is a reason to this. The truth is that pursuing your dreams takes you going out of your comfort zone. It takes a lot of high risk. It takes you facing your fears. It takes a lot to pursue your dreams. It takes bravery. And that's just the truth of the matter. So if you're someone who has had big dreams, or you've had dreams for the longest that you haven't really felt like you've made progress towards those things, or it seems too far out of reach for you, it's okay, because everybody is in this predicament. And it's not really your fault, because your brain is not designed to allow you to chase your dreams. Basically, we are conditioned for survival, right? We're conditioned to stay in our comfort zone. Anything that pushes us out of that comfort zone sends signals to our brain telling us, stop, don't do this, I'm unfamiliar, I don't know what's gonna happen. And those signals going off are what causes you to stay put. So you end up maybe not pushing yourself as hard as you really can go, because the truth is that we're conditioned to be comfortable, not happy. That's why when we have to do things that are so hard or hurtful or difficult, even though it means that it's for the best, it still hurts, and sometimes we can't bring ourselves to do it. Our brains are literally telling us no. In a way, your brain is kind of your worst enemy, because your brain is like the number one thing that is stopping you from going after your dreams full force. But there is a way that you can fix this. There is a way that you can reframe your mind to be less fearful, maybe not procrastinate so much, because the truth is that procrastination is a form of self-preservation, right? Procrastination is what tells you this is too much, this is too intimidating, so we're just not going to do it at all. But like I said, there is an art to reframing your whole mindset to look at things differently. And this is coming from someone who has seen progress. I've seen progress in 2024 when I tried to implement this method into my life. What it is, we are gonna take our dreams and make them small. We're gonna crush them down and just make them very, very small. I want your dreams to be so small that it's no longer exciting. Why? Because if it's not exciting, it's easy. And you want easy. You don't want big, you don't want loud, you don't want intimidating. You don't want impossible, right? You want easy. So we're gonna go ahead and scale our dreams down. I'll give you an example. And this is gonna be a very, very mundane, boring example, but I wanna do it in a way that's simple. Let's say I don't know how to swim, right? And I want to learn to swim. So instead of jumping right into the pool, or even the shallow end of it, and just trying to paddle our way, we're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do first, we're gonna teach ourselves to float in place. We're not even gonna learn to swim first. We're gonna teach ourselves to just float. Once we float, the idea of swimming becomes less intimidating. It becomes less scary. Why? Because if I try to swim and I can't figure out how to make it happen, at least I can flip over on my back and I know how to float, right? So you have that safety net of something that you can fall back on if things become too hard or it feels like it's too much pressure. So for me, I'll now use a personal example, right? I wanted to start YouTube in 2024. That was my big goal. And I still don't know where it's gonna go, but prior to starting YouTube, I was very, very camera shy and I was awkward in front of the camera. Still am awkward, but we're working on it and I think I'm getting better. But I told myself if I don't post that first video, no matter how embarrassed I feel or how shy or nervous I am to be perceived, then it's never gonna happen. I told myself, we'll practice, we'll do a couple practice videos in front of the camera, get familiar. We don't have to post just yet, but we're just gonna film. And once I got comfortable enough to speak to no one in particular but myself, and I got past that initial fear of seeing myself on camera as well, I was able to finally post a video. But I couldn't have done that if I hadn't taken the baby step of just practicing alone and speaking to literally no one in my room at all. If I had gone into it with this mentality of you have to film your first video ever and post it right away, it was not gonna happen because everything in my brain was telling me not to do that. I had to start out small. So that's exactly what I did. Now, when you break down these dreams and goals into smaller itty bitty pieces, your brain is less likely to do whatever it can to keep you in a cage of comfort. And that's really all you need. That is the key to opening the door just slightly. All you need is a crack. You don't even need the door all the way open, just a crack and we're good. Now, once you get comfortable with that baby step, once you get comfortable completing the first step, you move on to the next. Now, we're not jumping all the way to the top of the ladder. We're going one rung at a time, and this is what it looks like. So you have to really try not to think about the bigger picture. And I know it's hard, but when you think of the big picture, it becomes overwhelming and heavy, and you think there's no way. There's no way it can happen, not in this lifetime. But that's not necessarily true. You just need to take those itty bitty steps to get there. And if the first itty bitty step doesn't pan out the way you want it to, it's a lot less soul crushing, right? Than if you had made a huge leap towards that goal and it failed. It's a lot less harder to handle. And if anything, you just figure out another way, another itty bitty step that you can take, right? It doesn't end there. You keep going, but you need to start small. So don't think big, start small. That is the key. And I know this may seem like common sense, but it's really not, because a lot of people don't understand how their brains operate. The heart is where our dreams fester, it's where they're planted, but our brains are the complete opposite, right? Their reason, their rationality. The brain can't comprehend dreams. The brain tells us, no, this is realistic, this is where we're safe, this is where we have to stay. But of course, we know that's not the case, right? And everyone has dreams. It's such a universal thing, but not everyone ever achieves them. You, in a way, have to fight yourself. And I know we all have this bad habit of getting ahead of ourselves, and we expect things to happen under a certain amount of time or very quickly. And when it doesn't, we become very hopeless or disappointed, and we don't want to try. The truth is that nothing in this life is going to come to you fast unless you're 1 in a billion. And even then, I promise you, people that you see have overnight success, they've taken steps prior to that to make it happen. So what I'm trying to say with all this is that there is work that you have to put in order to get closer to obtaining your dreams. But it doesn't have to be a lot of work unless you make it that way. It can be very easy. It can be very simple. The road only feels long if the path is that much more steeper, but we can create shortcuts for ourselves. And that's my whole point with this video, is that you don't want to achieve your dreams because right now it feels like it's a lot of work. But what if it didn't have to be? And once you descale, you realize just how much more possible the impossible suddenly feels. I hope you've learned something from this. Give this a try. I promise you'll see results. I know I have. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. While I have you here, if you are subscribed to me, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, message me and let me know that you found me on YouTube, and I will literally follow you back. Otherwise, have a great day. Much love. Bye-bye.